to do this. Good evening, all you Minties, and welcome back to another episode of Reelz Talk with your host, the amazing Amanda, my lovely co-host, the uncanny Omar.
Hi, how's it going? I'm the uncanny Omar. Welcome to Reelz Talk with my other co-host, the amazing Amanda.
That's right, exactly. The other one. Wait, was there another one we were talking? You had earlier today?
You have been replaced. You've been replaced. I just haven't. I don't have the heart to tell you. Yeah. I don't have the heart to tell you. How is everybody doing? How's everybody doing today? Today is a very special day because today we get to take a look back at two classic movies that, oh my gosh, 15 years, like 15-year anniversary of one of my favorite anime. They did a movie adaptation, two-part movie adaptation of a 27 episode series. And I'm trying to think. I saw the series in 2007, I think, right before we flew to Japan. And James and Aria, how are you all? So,
hey guys,
we're also going to be talking about
the Oscars.
The Oscars, that's right.
Yeah. So if you guys, yes, on Tuesday, was it Tuesday? Or was it was Tuesday morning, right? Yeah, they announced the Oscar nominations for 2024. And there's a lot of, mostly predictable stuff, but we'll talk about some of the nominations and people we think might have been snubbed and this and that. And talk about some of the movies that we probably need to see before the Oscars. So but first and foremost, we're going to talk about Gurren Lagann.
That's right.
Yeah, because I have never seen these movies before.
Nor have you seen the TV shows, which makes me wonder, I wonder what she's thinking right now. Because, it's a condensed version of the 27 episodes. And movie one is very interesting because movie one started rewatching the series a couple weeks ago. Oh my gosh, it's one of my favorites. I love that series so much so that Kamina back there.
Yeah, Kamina.
He's my favorite character.
Rightfully so.
It's really interesting when they do this. They do this a lot in Japan. Gainax has a tendency to do this. They did the same thing with the Neon Genesis Evangelion movie. They did the same thing with the Nadia Secret of Blue Water movie, where they reuse a lot of the footage from the TV show and, give you a condensed version of the story. So it's really interesting to see that with this, because what they did with this is the first movie, they used like 90% of the TV show and 10% new footage, whereas the second movie is like 10% TV show and then 90% new footage. That makes it really interesting. That like what they were able to change. And I'm curious, like, to somebody that had never seen the TV show, what you thought about it too, because I come into this, I've seen the movies, I've seen the TV show, and I love it. But I'm curious what, somebody that hadn't seen the movies, how the condensed versions work as far as a movie.
Yeah, like as an actual movie. It was really interesting. So the first one, Childhood's End, starts out with the overview of, I guess, what happened with the Spiral King way back when, right?
Yeah.
Everyone goes and lives underground to get away from the Beastmen and the Spiral. Yeah. So that one, for me, the Childhood's End, felt like a movie where you had a beginning and then the middle. We did have this, like, instead of showing how they met all these certain people, because obviously there's a lot of episodes in between, they meet all these individual characters. They kind of do a montage of the episodes where they meet, like Kitan, is that the gentleman's name? Yeah, Kitan and all those people, up into the point where they have to start, where they get to like the big battle, right? Is it Viral? Viral. Viral, yeah. And Adina,
Yeah, keep going. You're doing great. You're talking about the generals now. Okay.
Yeah, the generals. Yeah, the big battles to try to get their base, which of course that's where it all leads up to the montage in order to get to probably was a pretty climactic scene. Well, it's a climactic scene in the movie, but a very climactic scene in the series where we lose. Have we got spoilers on this? Kamina. Yeah, and then from there, I don't know if there's anything between they lose Kamina and then Nia comes along. Was there in the TV series? Is there anything, or is it just kind of like
No, she comes along right afterwards.
right out? Okay, so all that's pretty,
yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, so it was interesting because I'm used to you know movies have montages of things, usually training sequences or when someone's getting made over, but to like montage an entire like a good chunk of time was very different for me because then you had to assume a lot of the relationships. And I think they did a pretty good job of them in the montage of what scenes to show. Of course, you're not seeing dialogue or anything during these times of the certain characters to kind of get an idea of their personalities, who they are, which I find is really interesting. And then that way, when you get to see them actually, you know, now the montage is over and now we're back into real time or you know back to just seeing the action play out, you have an idea of who they are just by the montage. I thought it was pretty impressive because that's a really hard feat to pull off, especially for like Catan because of what happens to him in the second movie and the fact that I still felt something even though I spent a lot of time with Kamina in the film, right? So when Kamina you know, dies. It is sad because he was the main character up until I guess it really always was Simone, but up to that point, he was one of the main characters. So for him to you know die was pretty devastating. And then you get to the second film, The Light in the Sky Are Stars, and then Catan dies, and I still felt something, and I wasn't expecting to because I didn't get a lot of time with that character in the first movie, at least not in a way that I thought would have mattered. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. It does.
Yeah. But just the brief things they've chosen to show of him, either in the last film and then in the Lights in the Skies Are Stars, you're able to still feel, or it's just that the voice actors are that great. Because we saw the subbed version in theaters, we didn't see the dub version.
I've never seen the dub version. I know Maddie has, and she's a fan of it. I think for me, it's whatever version I see first. And that's the one that was available to me by Bandai. And before that, we had seen a pirated version of it.
Yeah,
it wasn't available. It wasn't available in America at that time.
Yeah, exactly.
But that was 2007, and then the movies came out 15 years ago. I ended up getting both of the movies and fell in love with the series all over again. It is really interesting, like how fast and what they decided to do. What's up, Phil Owens and Philip?
How you doing?
How are you all doing?
Yes.
And I think for me, like I wish they had kept some things in there from the TV show, but it's a difficult task to decide what to leave in, what to take out, you know, what's important, what isn't important. For the most part, they did a really good job. Now in the second movie, they changed up so much that my wife went to go see it with us, and she was a little confused as to did it happen like that in the TV show? And I was like, no, it didn't. It was played out differently in the movies, which I enjoyed.
Yeah, I guess the good thing that for someone like me who's never seen the TV show, I wouldn't have known the difference to be confused or not confused.
Well, not so much confused, just kind of looking at it a different way from a different.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but it was really interesting. Let's talk about the first movie, Childhood's End, and talk about for you what was different in that movie versus the TV series.
In the movie version, it's pretty much the ending the beginning. The very beginning of Gurren Lagann, every episode starts off with "This is the story of a man" and blah blah blah.
Okay.
But the beauty is, you find out who's the narrator at the very end of the after credits of the final episode. When you hear Simone talk like an older man, it's him.
Right.
He's
Yeah.
telling the story. Because the whole time you think, okay, the narrator is somebody else, or the sender, or it doesn't matter, right?
Yeah.
You're just hearing this is the story of a man. And I love that. I love when it comes full circle with the ending, or full drill, if you will.
Yeah.
So the beginning is a little bit different, because the beginning of the TV show, you start off with them on a giant spaceship, and who looks to be Kamina, kind of taking them to the stars. In the movie, it's the story of the Spiral King.
Yeah.
And why he was hiding everybody underground, what the reasoning behind that was. And I thought that was really cool, that they decided to go ahead and just do that, because we're only limited, you got 2 hours to condense 12 episodes. And the ending was what's different. As soon as they find Nia and that stuff with the 4 generals, they become like they fight generals, like one general at a time in the TV show.
Yeah.
And when Kamina dies, they do fight that particular general, and then they both die. But in the TV show, they go one by one. In this, he fights them all at the same time, which was really cool. And they do the Team Gurren Lagann or Dai Gurren Giga Drill Break. I thought that was cool. So that was added for the movie. That was a nice little addition for the movie.
I like that.
And then it ends, right? And I remember when I watched the first movie with my friend Rob, who we both watched the TV show together, we were like, it's a weird place to end, because why would they not end with the fight against the Spiral King? And then the second movie is the time jump. And I still think that like that, because the second movie starts with the fight, like a condensed version of the fight with the Spiral King, which you think is going to be the big bad. And then you start seeing them, after the defeat, building the Kamina City. And I thought that was really cool. That was nice to see, because you don't see that. You just see like,
oh, you don't.
Yeah, you just see years later, and you're like, oh, there is a time jump. Is it wrong that I enjoy your reviews of movies more than watching the movies themselves?
Depends on the movie, but
it's so good. It's such a good movie. Both of them are. But that was what was different in the first movie. And then the second movie, which is the stars in the sky. What is it called? The
lights in the skies are stars.
Yeah, which is the very final, one of the final lines.
Mm-hmm.
That movie was a lot different, though. That movie became it's kind of its own thing, because the whole rule when he warns them like about heading to the moon and how that's going to bring destruction. In the TV show, it was once I think it's the 1 millionth ape is born, so a baby.
Oh,
that's when the moon will strike, and that's why Diana, what's his name, Diana, the guy and the Kitan sister, their baby is very important, because when the baby is born, that's what kind of sets that off. Now, Simone going to jail and all that is very similar, because he doesn't know what he was doing. He shot the things, and they blow up the city, and he gets sent to prison. That's where he finds Vero. Roshu goes through this whole depression thing, though. In the movie, it's handled a little bit different. Like, he is going to commit suicide in the show. In the movie, he just leaves. He's part of the ship. And in the TV show, he goes down to where the little village where he came from.
Yeah,
to kill himself. Yeah, sad.
It is very sad. It was an interesting turn for how do you pronounce his name? Roshio.
Yeah, the lights and sky stars. That's telling those flat earthers. That's right, Phil.
So I will say, when you're mentioning the beginning of the lights in the skies are stars, it was a little off-putting, because there was, I guess, either I missed it where we realized that we are all spiral beings, like the humans. I was like, wait, do I remember this conversation in Childhood's End? Because I don't. So the condensed version of that whole fight and the whole revelations and everything like that made it a little bit hard for me in that second movie at first to understand why the moon was, going to now destroy Earth because we were trying to get to the moon, I guess, is what the idea was. Simone went too far. Like the story of Babylon, I guess, or Tower of Babel, sorry. And then we meet those anti-spiral, which was wild. I love the anti-spiral, like the different animation they used for those characters, or the main guy. That was really cool. I was not expecting that. But
it's all part of the DNA helix, right? As it's revealed later on, whenever Simone realizes what is power, where it comes from.
Yeah.
It's like all of it is about the human will and the power of friendship and love, which is very stereotypical and tropey of anime. That no matter what, we can overcome all these things with those very simple things. But yeah, I kind of thought, like, this time watching it from like every viewer's perspective, that how fast that went. I was like, yeah, that's might be a little too much. They probably should have made the first movie a little longer, but you still need that part in there where they defeat the big bad.
Yeah.
But it's interesting to defeat the big bad at the very beginning of the second movie. I mean, it's not, right? Then you get the time jump, and that's kind of when things really. And once they get going, they don't slow down. They don't stop. Oh. It's like one thing after another. They get on Gurren Lagann, they go and fight. Turns out the moon wasn't really the moon, that it was just a giant spaceship. Like that belonged to the Spiral King.
Like created by the anti-spirals. Like
the actual moon is hiding. Oh my god, dude. Yeah. When he merges with the Arc Gurren Lagann.
Yeah.
Or to become Arc Gurren Lagann. So he merges with the ship, knowing that he can merge, because that's what they do. And then transforms into the giant robot Arc Gurren Lagann and knocks the anti-spiral and breaks time and space.
Yeah.
I was like, what the hell did I just watch? I remember watching that the first time in the TV show going, he just ripped through time and space by punching that dude. That's why I told you when we watched the first movie, I was like, it's kind of crazy to like look back and see where it started and where things went, especially that final fight when they're just throwing galaxies and creating big bangs. And you're like, what? That's why he was like, my drill is the drill that creates the heavens, because it kind of is. That's so wicked. Oh man.
But he literally created different worlds. Like, it's crazy.
So, after that, he's like, I'm gonna take the moon, and the whole he merges with the moon because that's what you do, and transforms into super galaxy Gurren Lagann, and it's nonstop. And the whole thing is like they're trying to get Nia back because he still has faith that Nia is still good inside. That because she's wearing the ring, she refuses to give up that part. Even though she knows she's part of the anti-spiral, even though, she thinks that she's coded to do this particular thing, to bring be the mistress of death or whatever. Thank you so much for the super chat, William. Completely unrelated, but I started reading X-Men Omnis back in 2020. Thanks to you, and I finally got to Mutant Massacre. I just wanted to let you know. Oh, dude, Mutant Massacre. I could talk about that. I love that story. That's one of my favorite crossovers. Fall of the Mutants is my favorite, which that's the next crossover you'll be reading. But Mutant Massacre's up there. Oh, dude, when Colossus takes Riptide. Oh, I don't know how far you are. Sorry. Yeah. But thank you for the super chat, William. Very kind. Yeah, I think it's wonderful, like how they were able to condense that love story. And I love the fact that they added the Kamina, like her talking to him.
Yeah, I like that. Was really cool.
To kind of give you like a condensed version of what was happening. Like she's writing him a diary. And I thought that was a really nice touch because she realizes how important he was to Simone.
Mm-hmm.
And
never met him. So at least
she had never met him because he had died. Yeah.
But she still wanted to connect with him in some way because he meant that much to Simone. And I think they did a good job with the love story with Nia because they showed her and him in the first film. I kind of had a feeling, but they were too young at the time. So when they grew up and they both grew up hot, I kind of figured.
Oh, dude, when he gets up in the spaceship, oh my god.
Yeah.
So good.
But Linda did say, she's like, you can see her boobs. I said, yeah.
Oh, that's the other thing they added in this.
What?
Nipples.
Boobs? Oh, the nipples. Yeah, that's what
Nipples.
I was like. Those
You
are
did
legit.
not see
Because
you did not
those are
see that in the TV show. They added nipples in
I could
this.
put it in the movie on. Yeah, that you could throw in the movie.
Well, I mean, some anime doesn't though. The like it's just the
It's
art style,
just
right?
yeah, of course.
And there's this whole they've kind of there was like up until the mid 90s, there was a whole taboo about these things. But yeah, they added nipples in this, both Yoko and Nia. But it is that story that
No,
he's trying to get
those
her back.
boobs.
What's
I
that?
thought we saw the out. I just thought we saw her boobs. I don't remember them taking off her little triangle bikinis ever. Did I not?
No,
Did
I
I miss
mean when
that?
they were done, when they were fighting and they were in black and white,
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you're right. Yep. Okay.
those black and white nipples still count, Amanda.
Okay.
I'm just saying. But that's what this whole thing is. Like their anti-spiral wants to destroy the Earth and the spirals as they know it or know us. And Simone is like, no, now I know what I'm gonna do. I love the fact that he you have that scene with him and Viral where Viral becomes the
Yeah.
co-pilot of Gurren Lagann. That was one of my favorite moments in the TV show. I haven't watched the
Yeah.
movies in a while. I'll have to watch them again for the
Yeah.
nipple.
Yes, you do, Doc.
Completely worth it. Oh man, completely worth it. Beautiful animation.
It
But
is beautiful animation.
yeah, and this is where we end up losing Kitan, where they get in this really creepy part because it is Studio Gainax, right? So they added this part where the anti-spirals have like an ocean, and the ocean lures you into the state of depression, and the ship is getting crushed, and they're like, oh, we gotta. They find the source, but they can't. The missiles can't reach there, so somebody has to manually take a missile there. And Kitan's like, I'll go, and he kisses Yoko goodbye, which is something you don't do in anime. You never kiss Yoko because apparently that's like the kiss of
That's
death.
what I thought too. I was like, okay, she doesn't need any
I
boyfriend.
love that reaction. No, he's like, I'm sorry, I'm being forward and I'm just being stupid because I got caught in the moment. And she's like, that's okay. And then she kisses him. But oh my god, the way he dies really hits. Like every time I watch it,
Yeah.
he's not one of my favorite characters. But it's just the way he dies. You know, he takes the drill with him. The drill, one of Gurren Lagann's drills, as a good luck because there's a ship inside of a ship, and then when he sees the core, he takes the drill and just breaks it and ends up dying. And the way that it's animated is so creepy because he turns black and white. He's laughing at the end. I love when he's like, I'm not gonna say something stupid like later, buddy, or something like that. Like
Got it.
But at the end he ended up dying and just fading away. Like the way it's drawn, it's like he died in this huge explosion. And yeah, Simone snaps, but that's what kind of triggers the whole in the movie, it triggers the whole super galaxy Gurren Lagann. In the TV show, that's when he becomes Tengen Toppa and Gurren Lagann. So, and they switch a couple of the songs out too. Like with My Drill, I'll Pierce the Heavens. That song was switched out in the movie compared to the TV show.
Oh, okay.
In the second movie. But my all-time favorite part, so there's a couple of parts that make me cry in this movie. In the movie, it's a little bit different, but in the TV show, what ends up happening is very similar up until a certain point, and that is when Simone and everybody else in the ship, they're put into a state of like suspended animation, and it's almost like they're living out a life like in this virtual reality, right? That's where the anti-spiral wants to keep them. I know you took your daughter to go pee at this time, so you missed this moment, but there's a beautiful moment in there where Simone is there with Kamina and they're bank robbers and living a life. And I thought, oh god, this is Studio Gainax. They just restarted the universe. This is the ending of Evangelion, but there's one more episode left. What are we going to do? But instead, it's this virtual reality, like I said, that they put him in.
Yeah.
And he realizes that it's not really him because he keeps hearing that sound, right? The sound of the core, the drill. And he realizes that it's not Kamina, and he turns around and there's the real Kamina. But the cool part in the movie that they added was Nia was kind of praying, asking Kamina for help, which I found so interesting. Like, that they're in there and for his help to kind of get them out. And he does. He shows up again. It's like even in death, he is the most badass character. And when Simone realizes that it's not him, he beats the crap out of the fake Kamina and turns around and is now tall again, right? Like his age. And Kamina, oh, it's such a
Yeah.
beautiful moment. Kamina's like, when the hell did you get taller than me? And
Yeah.
I don't know, that moment always hits me. But the part that hits me is when they're saying like goodbye, like when he realizes that this was just a dream and he has to leave. And Kamina says, well, I guess this is goodbye. And Simone's like, no. Oh, he points to his heart and he's like, you're always with me. That part tears me up every time. And he takes off, and then everybody else wakes up from their dream. Yoko being one of the saddest ones because she realizes like she's living a dream with Kitan, they're married, and realizes it's just a TV show, and she's flipping through the channels, and it's Kamina holding the TV. But it's a cool moment because it's the place where he told her that I'll come back to get that kiss. So they're standing at that same location, and she's like, and she realizes what he is, right? And she's like, thanks for waking us up. But the saddest one that wake up from the dream is what's his name? Vero, because he has a kid and he has a wife. And Vero can't have kids because he's immortal because of what the Spiral King made him. And I love the way he wakes up out of the dream. He just looks at his wife and kid and he's like, oh, I was having such a sappy dream too. And then takes off. And that's where they come out of the ring, which is one of my favorite moments. Like, where he comes and rescues her and then fights the anti-spiral. And of course gets ridiculously like, oh my God. Like in the anime, the Tengen Toppan Gurren Lagann robot, like that's the final robot, right? Yeah. In the movie, they do something else where they combine giant versions of their own robots and become super Tengen Toppan Gurren Lagann. And I remember when I was watching that with Melanie and Rob and his wife Fran, because we all watched the series together, we were like, what the hell is it gonna look like? And I was like, there's only one like thing that could be really cool. I was like, if they merge into a giant goddamn Kamina, which they did, it was like a giant. He's got a cape and everything, and then they fight, and the intro song from the TV show kicks on. And there's that big fight, and Earth can see it. And then the battle ends, right? Like where we defeat the anti-spiral, and the anti-spiral's like, make sure to take care of the universe. And he's like, of course we will. Thought that was a nice touch. And we fast forward some time. They come back from space, and Simone and Nia get married. And she disappears. Because she knew, everybody knew what was going to happen. But she disappears, and he leaves and leaves the next generation in charge of the world, right? By throwing the spiral core over to what is his name? Gendry, I think it was his name.
Yes, I think
the little boy, right? Yeah. Throws it over to him and kind of leaves him in charge of the future. And that's it. The after credits is a beautiful moment of Simone coming back as an old man. And like I said in the TV show, he's the narrator, right? But he's coming back, and this little kid's just trying to break this coconut with a drill, and he's like, oh, you're not doing it right. Let me show you. But my favorite moment, and the one that breaks my heart and makes me cry, is when he says, he's telling the little kid something. He's like, oh, the little kid's like, oh, you did it. You helped me open this. And he's like, of course I did. Who the hell do you think he doesn't finish his sentence. He stops himself and he's like, I guess I'm nobody. Oh, that breaks my heart. Every time. And then they look at the sky, and the Gurren Lagann's going up in space, where all our spiral cousins and friends are. Everybody is communicating with each other, and that's it.
Yeah.
And the light in the skies are stars, and that's where it ends. And that's the second movie.
Yeah.
So
it was a really beautiful ending.
Yeah. I love it. I think it's a great movie. But what did you think? What were some of your favorite parts? What did you not like about these movies? And anybody that has seen it that's in the chat right now.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's interesting because I've seen some anime, obviously. seen some anime films, then a series, and it's always still, it's always still for me still so different, right? Because I'm not so immersed in it as like yourself or like Maddie or anyone else. But there were parts that I really liked about both the films. I think that this story, I love the world building in the story as a whole. I think it's really interesting, unique the way they built this story about humans on Earth and what they originated from, and the whole idea of this spiral king and anti-spiral, and this obsession with spirals is just crazy because I was like, why am I hearing so much about spirals? I just watched True Detective, that's why. And spirals were everywhere all the time, apparently. But I like that they build this crazy lore and just make it work within, well, within the series, but within these two movies. And I think they do a pretty good job of telling you about the universe and showing you what the universe looks like, which can be really hard to do when there's so many fantastical elements and sci-fi elements to both of these films, right? So it can be very difficult to make all that work. But I think they do a really good job of that. There's a lot of great lines in both of these films. And I don't know how if the translation's one for one on the subs, but a lot of great just lines you'd want to put in your journal or maybe plaster on a bumper sticker, just like really good lines throughout both films. I was like, wow, that's a really good line. I don't think I've ever heard it said like that or heard someone say that. So I like the writing in it. That's definitely sometimes I'm like, some of these animes may not be always for me because it's a little juvenile in
Whoa! You better finish that statement.
I mean, with the portrayal of some of the women and the obsession over their parts. Yeah, over the boobies. That little mole creature kept jumping in Yoko's boobs.
But it gets a pass. It's a mole. It's not human.
I
It doesn't
know it gets a pass.
understand.
It's weird for me. It's like something I'm not used to. So it's very different, which is what Lyndon was like. Why do they keep talking about her boobs? I don't know, Lyndon. I don't know. Don't ask me questions.
You should say it's a different culture. My favorite meme I just saw recently was I shared it with my friend Tina. It was like being bullied in Japan versus being bullied in America. Then it's like a picture of being bullied in America is this kid getting the crap beaten out of him, like he's bleeding, black eyes everywhere. And then being bullied in Japan is these girls with giant boobs, like making this kid cry, going, "Go ahead, touch my boob, I dare you."
Oh my God, that's awful.
It's like, yeah, that sums up the anime I grew up with. Yeah, I mean, 2007, I think they've gotten, I don't know. This is the stuff I grew up with. There's this thing called fan service. Do you know what that is?
Yes, I know what
Like
fan service
Japan,
is.
well, do you know the Japanese fan service? How, there's a whole history behind it, like about panty shots and stuff like that. There was one of the most famous anime that kind of kicked off this whole movement, or maybe when people started counting and movement, was this it was an OVA called Agent Aika, and that's all it was. It was nothing but fan service. It was like girl short skirt. She was a detective. Yeah, it's and panty shots left and right. It was crazy, but that tradition is. I mean, that's been a big part of anime. I think they've.
Yeah.
I don't know. This has been a long time since I've seen a new anime series besides like Demon Slayer with my kid, Attack on Titan, and those shows don't usually have the fan service,
Yeah.
But
it's not built into them.
But it's a very tropey thing, and it was here too. Like to kind of off or maybe balance the gravity of the whole situation. Oh, here's a joke about a boob, bleeding noses, things like that.
It's a good way to do it. Yes.
Yeah. Wait a second. Phil, is that an Under Siege?
The best
I thought the best part was Eric jumps out of the cake. That's from Under Siege, right?
I think so.
I love that movie.
I'm thinking about nipples now. Yeah, sorry, we got on topic of boobs. Yeah, and it was very for me very anime that is just like we keep making a bigger robot and then a bigger robot and they all just keep merging together. But besides that, I really do like the story. It wasn't as hard to follow. I was worried it was going to be hard to follow because you said they were condensing the TV series, right? The only thing for me was the beginning of the second movie because, like you said, instead of ending the first movie with the fight with the Spiral King, they condensed that into like a quick thing in the beginning. And I feel like I'm still missing some revelations there that would help fuel my understanding of everything that was going on in the main story of The Light in the Skies Are Stars. But it didn't detract from my enjoyment of the film, right? Because you don't have to know everything. You know, sometimes you don't have to know the answers to all of the mysteries. If the story is good enough that they're giving you what you want as a audience member, which is a, you know, characters you can connect with, a good story, and of course also great dialogue and action and emotion. And I think that both films did that very well. Especially with they really just picked the right characters to hone in on and focus on. And yeah, even by the end, I was like, oh yeah, the Spiral Lord, Spiral King, he's so awesome. Look at him, his like beyond the grave, weird like clone. I don't even know.
Computer head
is helping them too. It's everyone.
Well, you know, there's such a thing as comic book science. There's such a thing as anime science too. By the way, a big shout out to Ethan, who works at the movie tavern that we went to yesterday. I forgot to mention that earlier. My wife reminded me to give him a shout out.
I'm glad you did.
Honestly, I almost forgot. Though, thank you, Ethan, for saying hello. He watches the show and recognized me. I think that's the first time I've been recognized at a movie theater. That was really cool, very unexpected. So thank you. I mean, we stay in town, right, to go to the movies because it's so much closer and cheaper. But I'm glad we did because the movie tavern, it was fun. It was just fun to sit there, eat, and watch one of my favorite movies.
Yeah, if you haven't been to a movie theater where you can get food delivered to your seat
and beer,
I highly recommend everyone try that experience at least once. It is fantastic.
Like the old drive-ins, right?
Yes.
Except not in your car. You're in the
except it's temperature controlled. The seats.
All right, there's that too. There's that.
And we were the only ones in the theater for the second one. I think there's like a row ahead of us.
Yeah, not a lot of people in
not the second one. Yeah, the first one we had quite a few people though.
I don't know how well it was received here. It was huge in Japan because we went to Japan for our honeymoon in 2008, and there was merchandise everywhere. And you know, a series is popular when there's merchandise everywhere, but you can't find the main characters. Like they were sold out of Simone, everything Kamina, everything Yoko. You can find everybody else, like little figures and stuff like that, but you could not find the main three characters. You mentioned something that's really interesting about how this show has like giant robots and bigger robots, but to me it was like it's a show that fools you into thinking that you're watching a mecha, that you're watching a show about giant robots. But it becomes something else. It becomes like a human experience. It becomes a show about the fighting spirit, which is very, very tropey of an anime. But I love the way that it's done here because it's like little kid and his big brother figure living underground, digging themselves out. And I mean, it's all about the spiral, right? Like the DNA spiral and creation. I love that. I love that part. Like when he gives that, so many good speeches. You're right. When he gives like the final spiral, the final drill about like how the people that have gone before us and the people that are coming after us in the future, you know, how it all kind of wraps together, making this perfect spiral. It's wonderful. I love this. I love the series and I love the movie, and I'm glad that you went to go and watch it. I wish Maddie was here, but she didn't get a chance to go see the second one.
No, she didn't. But yeah,
just because I know she loves the TV show.
Yeah, but it was. I really enjoyed the experience of getting to go and see it, and getting to experience with you. And you know, the second time around, we went and saw it with our kids and Melanie, and I thought that was really cool to be able to do that all together. And
she loves this movie.
And get to see my daughter experience for the first time, I think is great because she's getting into anime. So this is a good way for her, you know, to go see this. Like apparently Demon Slayer's movie is coming out at the end of February. So now she wants me to take her to see that in theaters.
Oh, is it
really excited?
Is it the second movie? I didn't know the second movie was coming out. That's cool. I saw the
Demon
first one.
Slayer to the Hashira training, February 24th.
It's coming out in theaters? Is it limited release?
Yes, I guess.
You know what else came out as an anniversary? What's that?
I said I was looking at for stuff for our show, and then I was like, oh, well, look at that.
Cowboy Bebop, the movie, Knocking on Heaven's Door, came out as a re-release this past month.
Yeah, that's
and it's one of those.
They're doing that.
Yeah, I love it because we never got to. I saw Cowboy Bebop when it came out in America the first time, but I only saw it in Japanese, and I never saw it in English until I got the Blu-ray or DVD rather. But I like to see it I like the English voice cast of Cowboy Bebop. It's great, and I would go and see that again in the movie theaters. It's a great movie to a good series. Did you watch that? Did you watch Cowboy Bebop? Not the Netflix adaptation, but the original Cowboy Bebop?
I did watch the Netflix adaptation.
Why would you do that? That was
John Cho is in it, and I like him, so I'll support that actor. But then I didn't like the series.
It was awful. Oh my gosh. I don't know how anybody. I think I watched about 10 minutes of it, and I told Melanie, I'm like, well, that's enough for me. You can keep watching it. This is awful. Like, I don't even mind the cast. It's people were upset that they cast somebody like him because he was older.
Yeah.
And I'm like, nah, he's fine.
I didn't mind that. Yeah.
My problem was just with the atrocious dialogue. I'm like, how can anybody just sit and like, even if I wasn't a fan of Cowboy Bebop, I'd be confused. Whereas One Piece was a wonderful adaptation.
Oh, it was beautiful. Yes. Gives me a little.
I don't know about Yu Yu Hakusho. I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, Leo? Hey, Omar, what did you and your wife do on a honeymoon in Japan?
Good question.
I
mean, besides the obvious being
the obvious, we held hands a lot. we did all the tropey touristy things, man. We went to Tokyo Tower. We had this is a really cool ryokan which is like a natural hot spring by Mount Fuji. It's really cool, man. This is wonderful. Next trip to Japan, we did taxes. Thank you for that. We're gonna go back this summer. We're going back this summer, man. My wife said I need to take 2 weeks off a year. It's good for my mental health, and it is. It is. I realized how much I needed it last year, where I hadn't taken off a day in like 3 years. And we did a lot of anime things, like shopping, all over Akihabara, and we went to a couple of, I can't remember the name of the 2 little towns we went to, because as much as I love shopping in Tokyo, I love getting lost where I don't speak the language, and we just kind of have to figure it out. That's a lot of fun. Cowboy Bebop definitely had a great English cast. No Gun's Life was better in English too. I haven't seen that one. Yeah, my anime. I'm not gonna lie. My anime kick has kind of slowed down a lot. I bought a bunch of Blu-rays when I was drunk a few years ago, and that's about it. And we watched Trigun, the new Trigun. We haven't finished it yet. I don't know. It's I think animation is just a little bit different these days, where it's like computer generated and hand drawn on top of it, and it takes me a little bit to kind of get used to it. I am getting Berserk on Blu-ray though, because I love that. I still have the original one. You kids and your Japanimation. That's right. The Netflix adaptation of Cowboy Bebop is better than the anime. His word. There's no way in hell. Even Warren, who hates everything. I'll ban him. I'm gonna ban him right now, even though he's not even watching. My Dress Up Darling is more your taste, Omar. There's somebody that likes that. I think Maddie's husband Elliot likes it. I know there's somebody I know that likes that. My Dress Up Darling. Maybe Josh likes it. Josh, are you here? You were here earlier. But what would you give the movies out of 10, Amanda?
Ooh, it's a good question. I think I think I do. I rate them separately? Do I rate them as a whole?
No, I think you can rate them together. It's fine rating them together.
Yeah, I think overall, as someone who's never seen the series and going into it really blind, right, and not a well-versed anime fan, I would probably give it an 8 out of 10. It was solid. I mean, minus you know, the way we've had to explain or do the montage and things that left some things out of the loop, but other than that, I really enjoyed it. I think like I said, I really liked the animation. I liked the characters, the story, the way they built the world, and the dialogue. Dialogue is pretty great.
What'd you think of the animation?
I really like the animation. That's what I said. Like, I thought it was so cool the way you have what I would consider traditional Japanese
animation.
Yeah. But then you have the way they decided to create this anti-spirals, particularly in the second film, obviously. I thought that was so interesting to do it that way. And what a really cool choice to change up how they appear, because they're almost like this 2D kind of, it was almost like a 2D being, like that was barely in existence, like a doodle of some sort, as opposed to a fully drawn out figure, because that's kind of what they were when they decided they weren't going to evolve any further, because apparently evolution is bad and it leads to the end of all things, which is kind of crazy.
You saw what technology's trying to do to us now.
I know. AI will take us all back and put us
8 out of 10. That's a fair rating. That's a good rating for something like this. This is a 10 out of 10. I love these movies. They mean a lot to me. As a matter of fact, I was asking you about the tattoo, because I was like, I want the drill, and I've wanted the drill for a long time, but I'm like, should I have the drill pointing up, or should I have it pointing towards me, or should I have it here? Yeah. I don't know.
Where would you want it? Do you want it pointing to your heart, or do you want it pointing away from you?
If I'm going to have a drill, then I know.
Well, I mean, like, because, piercing your heart, like it's I don't know.
No, I want to put it in my nether regions, Amanda. It's the drill that would pierce the heavens. If I'm going out, I'm going all out, baby. Japan, when are you coming to the UK? Being American, you won't understand the language here either. That's right. You crazy folks say, what do they say? Chips.
Yeah.
Chips. What is with chips? Chips and lantern. Although I do have a friend from I was really disappointed that she didn't say the loo. She's like, where's the bathroom? And I'm like, why didn't you call it a loo? And she's like, we don't say that. Not all of us. Or did you see Ponyo when you and your wife had your honeymoon in Japan in 2008? No, we were a month early. It came out like the next month, but we saw all kinds of trailers because we went to the Studio Ghibli Museum when we were there. And I thought it was Josh, my dress up darling. So I got it right. Yo, yeah, exactly. So don't believe in you, believe in the me that believes in you. That's right.
Yes, I love that. Yeah.
Words of wisdom. I want that on my drill, on my body somewhere. Okay. What else do we got to talk about tonight, Amanda? Do you have a background ready for that? Let's do a little.
Oh, I actually don't. Oh, shoot. Do we have like a generic background? That's definitely not it.
That was my side.
Put back on our Reelz talk, our old Reelz talk background. No. So we did want to quickly touch upon. So obviously everyone knows on Tuesday they announced the Oscars nominations, which yes, Omar and I still care about the Oscars.
I only care because I like Martin Scorsese a lot.
That is not the only reason you care.
And the Razzies came out. And let me tell you what was not on either list that was snubbed.
The Flash.
The Flash was not in the Razzies nor in the Oscars, which really surprises me that it wasn't in the Razzies. I was kind of hoping it would be like up for best sound in the category of the Oscars. But they also snubbed Godzilla -1, which was really surprising. But
good movie.
I'm not. You shared that joke with me that I can't get over. The Ryan Gosling getting nominated for the Oscars while all the women got snubbed. This is pretty much the plot of Barbie.
Well, not all women. America Ferrera, and that's what I think a lot of
Oh,
people
she's up for
like.
supporting cast, right?
Yeah, she got best supporting actors, and everyone's like, "Did we all forget that America Ferrera got nominated?" And it's hard. There's a lot of great. I mean, I was really expecting Greta Gerwig, so we could pull it up. The
I really did too.
director. So we made an
Oh,
overlay.
oh, look at you with your visuals. Look at that. Near mint condition exclusive. I don't know what's happening here. What's happening here? What are you doing here?
So, yeah, so this is for best director. That was the
I got
thing.
you.
Yeah. Did you fix it? I should just make
I
these.
always do. I always do.
This. So, yeah, so obviously the best director slate did not include Greta Gerwig, and a lot of people were expecting her to be nominated. It also didn't, Alexander Payne, everyone thought he was going to be nominated for Holdovers, also didn't get nominated either.
I mean, how old is that guy though?
Yeah, I think he's young. Right?
Yeah, they can wait.
And so is Greta. So it's not like they don't have time. Now they did. I mean, Justine Triet is still. They did. It's not like it was all men, because there were a lot of films this year directed by women. So for none of them to be nominated probably would have been a glaring omission. But I mean, they did Justine Triet, which you saw in Anatomy of the Fall. I have not, but you saw.
I loved it. Yeah. I kind of, I was like the same way, like Josh. But then, I mean, we just started getting an overabundance of these type of movies that eventually some of them had to win, including Oscar winner Suicide Squad, which I still can't freaking get over. Like, what the hell? But also Wakanda Forever won. And there's a lot of movies. Lord of the Rings really changed things back in 2003 at the Oscars. Lord of the Rings opened up the door for a bunch of nerds, and there are some movies that I want to see win this year. So The Zone of Interest is the movie I was talking about. That seems like a really powerful film. And from the people that I've seen, like a couple of my friends have seen it. One of my buddies who makes movies and my other buddy who actually works in Hollywood at DreamWorks both told me, they were like, dude, it's one of those movies you gotta see, but you won't want to see again because it's that powerful. And if you don't know the plot of it, it's this family living an everyday life right next to a concentration camp.
So crazy.
So it's that type of movie. Going in, the mood and everything that you kind of expect, right? These are the Best Picture nominees.
Yeah, so these are all the Best Picture nominees, which, of course, you still get Barbie. So in a way, Margot Robbie was still nominated because she's a producer on the film. Greta Gerwig was also still nominated for Best. I don't know why Barbie landed in Best Adapted Screenplay. I'm trying to figure out what it was adapted from, but her and her writing partner, Noah Baumbach, were nominated for Barbie for Best Adapted Screenplay. So they both got nominations, just not in the categories they expected. But it is a very tight race. Like if you look at obviously Best Picture, they're in it. It's going to be really interesting to see who wins from this. Now, I think I don't have the image.
How many? Atit is asking. I want to come back to Ryan's question because there's a lot to get from there. How many of these nominees have you seen? I know Amanda and I have been talking about this. I want to see Poor Things. I've heard wonderful things about it. I need to see Killers of the Flower Moon. And what was the other one? I saw American Fiction. I haven't seen Past Lives yet. And I need to see The Zone of Interest. So I need to see four of these. Gosh, that's a lot. 4 of these.
Yeah, I need to see a lot of them. I mean, I've seen Killers of the Flower Moon, which Lily Gladstone deserves the nomination she's getting. Let me tell you what. If you haven't seen Killers of the Flower Moon, please go see it. Or watch it on Apple TV Plus. It's now you can stream it for free if you have an Apple TV Plus.
That's not free.
Okay, but it's also does it cost you up? Whatever. So Killers of the Flower Moon. I've seen Oppenheimer, Holdovers, and Barbie. I still need to see Poor Things, American Fiction, because American Fiction came out right at the end of the year. So that one just eked in, right? And Zone of Interest, Now You Fall, Maestro. So I still need to see quite a few of them. But the 4 major ones that have been nominated for multiple awards, Oppenheimer almost beat out Titanic. It has 13 nominations total. Titanic has the most with 14. Close but no cigar. James Cameron still wins. Oh, good.
Wait, I thought King. Oh gosh, Return of the King beat out Titanic though.
No, not according to my data that I looked
11,
up. So
right? It got 11 nominations and it won 11. Or no, it won every nomination it got. That's what it's known for.
Yes,
It
exactly.
was nominated for 11 Oscars and it won 11 Oscars. Okay.
Correct. Yes. Now, what's interesting about this is Zone of Interest was also nominated for Best International Film. So
Over
I wonder.
Godzilla?
Yeah, Godzilla was not nominated, but Perfect Days from Japan was nominated, which I've never seen. But that's going to be interesting to see. Obviously, my prediction on Best Picture is Oppenheimer. I mean, I'm going to be completely honest.
What won the Golden Globes?
Oppenheimer won for Best Drama, and then Holdovers. No, Poor Things won for Best Comedy.
Really?
So
it beat out Holdovers, huh?
Yeah.
So my brother explained to me the plot of Poor Things, and I was like,
Frankenstein type of thing, right?
That's Frankenhooker. No, Frankenhooker from the 80s, the movie. I was like, that's the plot of that movie. That movie was awesome when I was a kid. And he was like, I've never seen it. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it's a classic it's a cult classic. Anatomy of a Fall and Past Lives are on video on demand. I need to see 10. As of right now, American Fiction, which I just saw recently, just yesterday. Poor Things and The Zone of Interest are the only ones in theaters.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hopefully by March 10th, some of those will have.
James has the answer.
Oh, okay. So
Netflix has Maestro.
I'll watch that.
Apple TV has Killers of the Flower Moon. HBO Max has Barbie.
Well, yes.
Peacock has Oppenheimer coming in February 16th and The Holdovers, which is on right now.
Yes.
I didn't like Maestro. I thought Maestro was okay. I love the editing. I love the color tones, and I love the changing in the scale ratio, just to show the different passage of time. But as a movie itself,
it wasn't nominated for Best Cinematography.
Near Mint Condition officially recommended Frankenhooker. Oh yeah, that's in the back of the box of the VHS if you can find it.
Yes, exactly.
That was an Omar rental like all the time. My friends and I love that movie. I just wonder if we'll see Ryan Gosling perform at least some of I Am Just Ken. How when he got, I don't know. I wonder who's going to perform at the Oscars. Have they announced that yet?
They haven't announced it, but usually the people who the songs that are nominated do, and like when they had like Encanto and the cast came and sang a little bit of each part of it, but the songs, so they have The Fire Inside by Flamin' Hot. I don't even know what that is, but Diane Warren, because she's always feels like she's nominated. I'm Just Ken. It Never Went Away from American Symphony. I don't know how to pronounce it. Waza Haza, A Song for My People from Killers of the Flower Moon. And then What Was I Made For by Billie Eilish. Here's what I think. They're definitely going to have Billie Eilish perform because I feel like that is the necessity.
She does the intro of the new True Detective.
She does. Yeah, it's her song.
You know who told me that? My daughter. Because I was like, this song is familiar. Really? What is this? And Lydia's like, this is Billie Eilish.
It's a song they use a lot in a lot of movies, but it works for the True Detective, so I'm okay with that.
Oh, it's good. Omar, Amanda, James, Oppenheimer, Holdovers, Past Lives, and possibly Anatomy of a Fall have all returned to theaters as well. I saw Anatomy of a Fall, and I need to see Past Lives and a couple of. Oh, the new season is so good. We're gonna review that because it's just that.
Yeah,
good.
We might do like just a quick like 3 episodes in review next week is what I want to do because it is really good and we need to talk about it because I don't know if anyone's been watching. But there are connections to season 1.
Shh. Don't say anything.
I know, but we'll talk about it next week. But it's so exciting. And I can't wait for this episode this weekend because I think more things are going to come out. Anyways, I expect Billie Eilish. I think that Gosling will perform. I think they'll perform at the Oscars. I think all of them will. At some point.
Oscar winner for me this time around, not having seen Killers of the Flower Moon or The Zone of Interest or Poor Things. It's got to be Oppenheimer. Just because this is something that Christopher Nolan has been building up to his career. I mean, he started off very artsy. Remember, I mean, it wasn't Batman. And even Batman, he did his own way. Guys, the guy is a true cinematographer. He knows how to make good movies and make them exciting. Yes, he has plenty of plot holes, but I still love his movies, and I think this is his best one. Omar, do you know what some point the Oracle James Abel will demand one of your eyes for all this information, right? Like my actual eyeball? No! I'm not giving that up. Oscars in 2023 Memoriam is always so bad compared to TCM's. TCM's, the Country Music Channel? Oh, you mean TMC's. TMC,
yeah. Turner Classic Movies is what he's talking about, I think. No?
Oh, okay. I thought the Country Music Channel.
No, I think.
Obviously, I haven't had cable. Oh my God, I haven't had cable in almost 20 years. Turner Classic Movies. Thanks for that, buddy. I'll have to see how season 1 and 4 connect because I'm getting some Fortitude vibes from it so far.
Names. Think about names that have been mentioned.
She's the one that told me. I wasn't even paying attention.
Think about the Spiral. Like I said, that's the reason why I was like, wow, Spirals are really like just all over the place for me right now. Yes.
Surprise Poor Things is up for Best Picture, to be honest. My brother loved it. He was like, it's his favorite movie of the year.
Great. I heard it was fantastic. Now,
and I also haven't seen it. He just told me the plot, and I was like, the plot is ridiculous. This is Frankenhooker. But
did he say that Mark Ruffalo was good? Because I heard he was really good in it too.
No, he thinks Emma Stone should win an Oscar. All I remember him saying.
Does not care.
Yeah, he mentioned that Emma Stone.
Oh, speaking of that, let's look at Best Actress.
Oh, yes. Past Lives was good.
Only problem is she's up against Lily Gladstone.
Oh, yes. Okay. So you have Lily Gladstone from Killers of the Flower Moon, Emma Stone, Carey Mulligan. She was the best part of Maestro. Besides everything I said about like the color and the I just love when they change the decades in the movie. I love when movies do that, and they did a really good job with it and the settings and all that. Sandra Hüller in Anatomy of a Fall. I don't even remember. I mean, I saw the movie. Oh, Annette Bening, really? That was a good movie. I like that movie. You know, it's based on the lady that swam, tried to break her own record, and both her and Jodie Foster were great in it. These all look like Oscar movies. I don't think Poor Things honestly is an Oscar movie though. Like that type of movie. They always try to sneak those in there.
It is. It's quirky. Like it's like you never see a Wes Anderson. I think so. Let me see.
When he told me the plot and like it's not A24, it sounds like an A24
Element
movie.
Pictures, TSG Entertainment, Film 4 Productions. TSG is the one with the axes. You remember that?
Oh yeah, Carrie rocks it. I think she's in Adam Sandler's weird Netflix movie. Is she? I don't know. I haven't seen. Wait. The Gems cutting.
Was she in Uncut Gems?
I don't know. There's a lot of weird Adam Sandler movies, but Carey Mulligan's phenomenal.
She's a great phenomenal actor. Yeah, Promising Young Woman. She was really great in that. No, I mean it is a quirky film, like the likes of a Wes Anderson film. And Wes Anderson has rarely been nominated. I know his short film that he's done was nominated this year.
People love that guy.
Yes. Yeah. One of my coworkers does. He has a poster of Isle of the Dogs on the back of his on the wall behind him. So I'm always staring at it. And people are like, "Oh, are you into Japan?" Because it has like the Japanese.
Oh, the Japanese, right?
Half Japanese, so that's kind of he doesn't look it, but he is. It's kind of funny.
My brother loves Wes Anderson. I just think he's a little too whimsical for me. But I get it. I mean, like I said, Wes Anderson, like if he directed Transformers, is what Greta did with Barbie. Exactly the same kind of that opening scene is a very Wes Anderson scene.
It's very much
so I don't know. I haven't seen Poor Things. I haven't seen Killers of the Flower Moon. So my vote goes to Carey Mulligan in here because she's the one that stands out. She was phenomenal. Like phenomenal.
No. Lily Gladstone.
That's your vote?
Oh, she's so good in Killers of the Flower Moon. I mean, gosh, I mean, the whole cast is phenomenal, but she's a standout for me in that film. So, but I need to see the rest of them to properly, yeah. But I am surprised that I guess Margot Robbie wasn't nominated in this category. But I mean, there's always reasons why it's hard. It's a hard list to pick from.
How is Godzilla not up for Best Actor? Let's
I
move
don't
on to
know.
the next one.
Best actor. Hey, there might be our future Kang the Conqueror right there, Coleman Domingo.
Can we leave Kang alone for a while?
Okay.
Oh man. Okay, so I saw American Fiction. I saw The Holdovers. Saw Oppenheimer. I saw Maestro. What's Coleman Domingo up for? Ristin? I don't know what that is. I haven't seen that. That's the only movie I haven't seen out of these. Man, my vote goes for Cillian Murphy. He was phenomenal. He was really into the role. I saw an interview with his cast talking about how they would go out drinking and stuff, and he refused because he stayed in character. He's one of those actors that has to stay in character the whole time.
Mm-hmm. He's so good though. I mean, he is phenomenal. Speaking of actors,
Paul Giamatti, did he win it? Did he win for Sideways? I can't remember.
Ooh, that's a good question.
By the way, I really like that movie.
I did too. I thought he did win for Sideways.
I liked American Fiction, but I also knew what type of movie I was going to get into. It's a little slow, but I kind of need that from time to time. I mean, The Holdovers was like that, but The Holdovers was also kind of funny too and quirky. Rocket Raccoon, that's right. Bradley Cooper for Rocket Raccoon.
Crazy, right? To think
Do
about
we still have the MTV Movie Awards? That's what Josh wants. Josh wants the MTV Movie Awards. Best kiss, best action sequence, best death. I kind of miss those too.
I miss those days too.
Who's your vote for?
For this? Oh, Cillian Murphy.
Yeah, he's good.
I mean, I need to see the other films, but Murphy's so good. I love Oppenheimer.
I remember the first time I saw him was in the 28 Days Later.
Yes.
He was in that.
And he was so young. That too.
He was great in that.
Yeah, such a good
Coleman Domingo has an incredibly cool voice.
He's in the Fear of the Walking Dead, isn't he?
I don't know. I haven't seen that show. Holdovers was such a good Christmas movie, even though the director said it wasn't. I thought so too, because I watched it around that time, and it felt like a Christmas movie. Because it takes place during Christmas time, even though the director said no. Ryan Gosling should be here just for the double sunglasses and Sublime. Oh, I thought no, he's up for supporting
actor.
Yeah. There he is.
You're right. Also, ruins that aesthetic right there. I mean, they picked the most least interesting costume. I know it's a hard one.
Look at this. Okay, so everybody I've heard from says Ruffalo kills it in Poor Things.
That's what I heard too. That's why I want to see it. Even Robert
Downey Jr. was phenomenal in Oppenheimer.
Yeah.
It's gonna be tough. That Sterling Brown was awesome in American Fiction.
Was he?
De Niro always delivers though.
I mean, sorry, I didn't want to give it away of who he is.
No, hey. Easy.
It's good.
Not everybody's had time to watch all these. Gosling was good. I just really surprised that he's up for Best Actor for supporting actor for this movie.
I mean, it
wasn't he up for like La La Land too, or was this just? Oh, he was.
I think he was because him and Emma Stone were, and she won. I know that. He's been up for quite a few of his films, but I mean, I see it.
Blockbuster awards, yes.
What he had to do to become Ken, I get it. I understand why he was nominated. I mean, I love Margot Robbie, and she's a beautiful girl. I think she did a great job with Barbie, but I feel like, I understand why Ryan Gosling. That's a role that takes a lot of commitment on many levels to fulfill what they were asking of him, in my opinion. Yeah. So, I don't think Barbie saved them. They were still like on the verge of bankruptcy. I don't think Warner Brothers Discovery is safe yet.
Bankruptcy isn't necessarily bad. We've had a lot of big companies go bankrupt, and
yes, Um,
Honestly, bankruptcy in the industry, like the
saves
movies
people.
and books, always means that somebody's getting paid off. Is it like
That's true.
Can the Conqueror? I think I just solved Marvel's problem.
Yeah,
I only saw Coleman Domingo in Euphoria, and I thought he was terrific in that role. What season was he in?
Wait, what season was he in?
Elon. Who improvised his lines? A lot of his lines. Was it Ken? I mean Ryan Gosling?
Yeah.
I wonder, you think Downey's gonna get it?
If you were a betting man, yeah, he is in the Fear of the Walking Dead. Okay, I was right.
Okay.
If you were a betting man, yes. I feel like RDJ
Downey was great in this. He was great.
It's one of those.
If he gets an Oscar, there goes any chance of that guy coming back to do Iron Man.
Oh, he's not doing Iron Man.
He's like, fuck Dr. Doolittle and Iron Man. I'm out. I'm an Oscar winner.
Well, he even admits the Dr. thing was a bad step. No, but if he gets it, it's like that would be his career award for him. That's like, you have done so much. Like, because wasn't he nominated for Tropic Thunder too and didn't win?
Oh yeah, he was. Yeah,
he was, because he was so phenomenal, right? And he's so good in all of his roles, even as Dr. Doolittle, as awful as
okay, I don't know. Let's not get crazy. I don't know about that.
So yeah, it would be a career award for him. But I did watch an Actors on Actors on Variety, the YouTube channel of him and Mark Ruffalo. I was telling you about this. I mean, and it's nice to watch two people who are actually friends, right? Not just like random actors together, but these guys are actually friends. You know, Mark Ruffalo met his wife through RDJ, which is kind of crazy. But
is that what we're calling him now, RDJ?
That's it's easier to say than his full name.
Robert Downey Jr. Really?
Okay. But he was talking about Mark Ruffalo in Poor Things, and just about like the depths of what his character goes, like the depravity of his character, and it makes me want to see it. And because you don't see Mark Ruffalo as that type of person. Yeah, that's like the depravity of his character. You don't see that.
I haven't seen the movie, so I don't know.
That's why I want to go see it, because it's like I know him. Like he's
all right. Let's go see it.
13 going on 30.
You come back from your 55th concert you've been to this weekend.
Oh, I do have a concert tomorrow. That's right.
Yeah. See,
but my favorite. What about you? Do you think RDJ or do you think?
Well, out of all the roles, I've only seen two of these guys. I've only seen Robert Downey Jr. and Ryan Gosling. De Niro's already won an Oscar. As a matter of fact, I think De Niro's one of the guys. I think De Niro actually won an Oscar playing the same character that another actor played, and that was Marlon Brando. Because he won the role, or he won the Oscar of Godfather too. So I want to say that's one of the few times that two different actors won for the same role. Junior. Yeah, Robert Downey Jr. The guy's had the comeback of a lifetime. He is the poster child for a comeback, to never give up, no matter how. Dude, that guy was strung out. Like, you go back and watch any interviews he did, he was freaking so out there.
Exactly. Let me see.
I forgot De Niro has a new kid.
He has a baby. Oh my god!
Don't call it a comeback. That's right, Jean Desuk.
All right, let's look at supporting actress.
Oh, look, it's your friend.
I know.
Danielle Brooks.
Yep. Oh my god, that's the worst thing. Not funny.
Okay, best supporting actress: Emily Blunt. Wait a minute, where's Florence Pugh and her fine back when she was riding Oppenheimer? She should have got that freaking best supporting actress.
Emily Blunt got it alone for that scene where she was being interrogated in that room, and then she just spun the whole thing back on them. That's why she got that nomination, and her meltdown. I mean, Florence Pugh was in it, but not as much.
From Amanda's drama days.
It was funny. A friend, my old roommate, messaged me asking me if I could. He's like, hey, was it you that had the picture of me and Divine on my back porch steps at my graduation party? I was like, I was thinking, I didn't even attend your graduation party. So no, it's not me. But I do have other pictures of you two together if you want those. Because then he was posting them on Facebook.
Gotcha. Okay.
So it was pretty funny. I was like, I don't go and repost, hey, look at me and her at this time. Isn't that
Brando
cool?
won Best Actor. De Niro won Best Supporting Actor for the same part.
Oh, because he
Thank
probably
you,
that
sir.
one. Yeah, but I think it's Divine.
It's
right
so
now.
weird that the actress from Holdovers was friends with Amanda. Which
I
part?
mean, Friends
Which
is a
part?
loser. We hung out together.
They have pictures together. I've seen pictures.
Yeah,
I've
he
seen
did. He
pictures
saw
of them
pictures.
together.
Yeah,
I think it's
no, I
cool.
mean, we
You
hung
know,
out because
you know, wait,
I
could
was
you
theater
know
circuit.
an Oscar nominated
That
person?
is cool. Yeah,
That's a
that
lot cooler than me. I don't know any Oscar nominated people,
yeah, it's pretty cool.
right? Not yet. Maybe one day, but not yet. So we're man is like,
Oh
no,
God,
I
I
don't
hope
know.
Trace Ankylosaurus.
Oh, I told her about that. I should have. I was like, why did you text that back? Like, I didn't go to that damn party.
All I said is baby.
Do you all meet for Sunday brunch though? You
No,
and
we're
Divine.
not that close. She is in LA, first of all.
By the way, okay, so let's talk about this. Divine was great. I
Yes.
remember when you texted me about your friend that's up for an Oscar nomination. I completely forgot about it. And then you texted me going, "Hey, you saw the Holdovers. How was my friend Divine?" And by the way, you always said your friend Divine. You didn't. So even then, you were saying my friend Divine. I was like, "Oh, that was your friend." I thought the lady was a lot older than you. So I was really confused because she played. Have you seen the Holdovers?
Yeah, I did. Yeah,
Okay.
she plays an older woman. Yeah,
But she was playing like an older woman. I thought she was like in her 50s, just from her relationship in the character.
Oh yeah, the
Her
character.
relationship that she had with what's his name? Giamatti, right?
Yeah.
So I thought, oh,
There's
that's your friend? Okay.
Mm-mm.
Were you like a teacher's friend? I thought she was like a teacher. I didn't know y'all were around the same age.
Yeah, she was a graduate student.
Gotcha. Okay.
So maybe she would have been like closer to your age.
Josh, have you been up for an Oscar nomination I don't know about? Let me know, buddy. Coming next week. Divine.
If I can ever get her, that would be cool if I can get her out of here to do an interview of her.
Why don't you let me? I'll handle it. I'll ask her what it was like to be in Orange is the New Black, so she could be like, stop talking to me.
Danielle Brooks, stop being that way. Bless.
Danielle Brooks, I love that girl. She was in Orange is the New Black. She was also
tasty.
What was she? Oh, she was in Peacemaker. She's great in Peacemaker.
Oh, she was so good at Peacemaker too. Yes.
But
oh,
no offense to her or anybody, but Color Purple, been there, done that. I don't like remakes. So
it's a musical. It's like different.
Well, you lost me at musical.
I know.
Nope. I'm out.
Now this is where America Ferrera did get nominated for Barbie in this category, which is great. I love it. And I love the diversity of this supporting actress category.
Whoa, I just realized that when you said the diversity.
Yeah, there's only 2 white women. That's it. Just Emily Blunt and Jodie Foster always deserves. I mean, buddy, she better get nominated for True Detective next year because
Jodie Foster is an actress. I always thought
she just kills it.
She always kills it in every role. I really like Jodie Foster.
She's so unique. Like her, just everything, her voice, her look, everything about her. That's why she's been able to be in the industry, I think, for as long as she has. Since she was like a baby, according to her. I was watching her on Jimmy Kimmel and she was
she was in Taxi Driver.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
She was young. She was like 15, 16.
Yeah, since she was a little girl, she's been in the industry. It's crazy.
Oh man, she was great in Silence of the Lambs, dude. That role, she was amazing in that. I mean, The Accused, I think she was up for an Oscar for The Accused. It was a rough movie to watch too. Okay. So your vote goes to America Ferrera.
No, it does not go to America Ferrera.
It made you cry, Amanda. Oh, I'm sorry. Your friend. I'm sorry, your friend. Goodbye.
But a lot of the rest of her performance reminds me of things I've seen her in before, like American Superstore or Superstore and stuff like that. So Divine, I want Divine to win it. That'd be awesome. First of all, for a lot of reasons. But I think she was really great in Holdovers. I do love Emily Blunt though. She was great, but I feel like she was a supporting actress, but her role still wasn't as pronounced as it could have been. But that's because there's a lot of people to focus on in Oppenheimer. If that wasn't Oppenheimer or RDJ's,
Yeah.
Admiral Strauss. So it was kind of hard.
So the only one I haven't seen here is The Color Purple, and I'm sure Danielle's great because I really like her and everything. But Foster's really good in that. Has she ever won an Oscar? And I'm not gonna lie, Divine. I know she's your friend and stuff. But there was a scene in the movie whenever she's drinking and she gets drunk, and she starts talking about, she has a breakdown. That was a really powerful scene. Like, she's not in the movie a lot, right? Like, she's not in, which is why she's getting Best Supporting Actress. But she was amazing in that. And Foster did win for The Accused. Dude, she was awesome.
She won in 92 and 89, so she has.
Yeah, that was The Accused. 92 Silence of the Lambs, right? Silence of the Lambs? Yeah.
Yep.
I've only seen 2 of 5 of these supporting actors cannot make an edge. Shonda Suk, you gotta go for my girl Divine, man. This is the home of collected editions and the home of Divine Joy Randolph's friend. That's near making. Dude, if she wins an Oscar, I'm gonna change it. I'm gonna change that blurb at the beginning. Welcome to Near Mint Condition, the home of collected editions and the home of Divine Joy. Oscar winner Divine Joy Randolph's friends. There we go.
Okay.
For The Accused and Silence. Dude, she was awesome in both of those.
Yes, she deserves the win she gets. She's fantastic.
Leading actress was wonder.
It was.
Yeah.
What else? Oh, so here's another category we always love talking about here on our show. And
animated shorts. Animated
feature.
Well, I'm gonna go for Spider-Man Across the Universe.
It did get the most applause at the live announcement out of all of them when it was nominated when they announced it.
Simon was kind enough to send us a goodie bag after watching our review where I said it has problems, but I love Hayao Miyazaki, but I think The Boy and the Heron, I don't think he's done yet. I think he'll come back and do another movie. I mean, we've heard this a lot, right? We've heard it with right before Whisper of the Heart, he was retiring, and then when the director of Whisper of the Heart died, he came back out of retirement to do Princess Mononoke. I'll be honest, I don't even know what Nimona is. That's the only one I haven't heard of. Oh, is it? Okay.
I've seen it before. I think we watched it with the girls. I've never seen Robot Dreams. And yes, I've actually seen.
But I mean, Hayao Miyazaki's already won for Spirited Away. And I love him. I don't think The Boy and the Heron.
Leo's been asking for that review, Omar, and you keep pushing him off.
Yeah, I'm like you, dude. I don't know what
how he feels about the film, just given his reaction to that.
Robot Dreams, I saw, and I'll be honest, I fell asleep through Elemental. I'm sure it's wonderful. I don't know.
It's okay. The girls have watched it several times, so I've now seen it.
Oh, good. See, and that's what I like. I like when kids watch these.
Yeah, but is it the best animated feature film of the year? No. Is it good for my kids to watch on a Saturday afternoon when I need them to be entertained? Yes.
Nimona is based off the comic book Nimona. Oh man, if only the channel that knew about comic books knew what Nimona was. What? There's a movie. Dude, I'll be honest. I don't even know. That seems like a Maddie book. I'm looking at the covers right now.
Well, now, Josh, you say you think Spider-Man, but Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse won when it was not.
Spider-Man, the first one already
won.
Don't
say they don't care. They do care. And like I said, it got the most applause out of all of these during the announcements. I don't know who sits in the audience, but
it's in a Jeff Lemire series. It looks like it's N.D. Stevenson is the Nimona writer and artist. Noelle Stevenson. I'm sorry, Noelle Stevenson.
Yeah, so Spider-Man didn't win the Globes, but it did win the Critics' Choice Awards for Best Animated Feature Film.
MTV yet?
Not
Who won the MTV movie.
The critics did have issues with Boy in the Hair. What'd you say?
I was wondering who won the MTV Movie Awards.
No one. So they happened.
Okay. So the reason I said this reminds me of a Maddie book is because it is like a second book, the type of books that she likes.
Yeah.
It is N.D. Stevenson is the writer of Nimona. Noelle Stevenson. Haven't read it.
Oh, I know who she is.
Noelle Stevenson?
Yeah. that writer? I think I've read something else.
Oh, I'm sure you have. It's up your alley.
Yes.
Golly, dude, you're quick. Maddie and Kristen's Fangirls Assemble Nimona by Andy Stan. I knew it was a Maddie book.
You should have.
I haven't seen Lemire mention that in his newsletter.
Lumberjanes. That's what I've read. Yes.
See, that was another series that my daughter and who reviewed? Maddie reviewed with me, and my daughter and Maddie loved that series.
And you said, nah.
I couldn't get into it. It wasn't for. I like the Giant Days more. That was coming out at the same time, and I like that more. And it was also published by Boom, or Boombox rather.
Geek Girl. She was in that. There's like an anthology I'd gotten at New York Comic Con of.
Well, I will tell you this much: Nimona, the animation clip right there, does not look like Nimona in the from the comic, like at all. Looks like a different art style.
It does look like a very different art style. You're right.
Robot Dreams was okay, but yeah, out of these, I gotta go with Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Yeah. But you know, honestly, them snubbing Godzilla, I say The Boy and the Heron might win.
Just because they snubbed Godzilla -1, that's a weird.
Oh, you know how the dude logic. Don't make me say how the Oscars really work.
Well, that's what makes me scared for it. Now I didn't get pictures for the rest of them because I didn't have time. But that makes me scared for like adapted screenplay. So for adapted screenplay, the nominees are American Fiction, Barbie, Oppenheimer, Poor Things, and Zone of Interest. So,
okay.
I've seen I would like Oppenheimer to win for best adapted screenplay because I've read that gigantic, massive book. Oh, Corey has it. It's like this thick, it's huge. But the way they adapted it so well into a very well-formed movie, the way they did it was perfect. Barbie, I don't know what it's not like. Why is it considered adapted? Because it's adapted from a doll.
Toy?
Yeah, I don't understand. So, I feel like voters, because of all the uproar of her not getting nominated, will feel bad and they'll give her the best adapted screenplay win, not knowing if it deserves it. Because I really think Oppenheimer had to condense a lot. They had to and make it like cinematically pleasing. I'd be disappointed. Anyways, I'm sorry. Go on.
No, it's your baby. Nimona has a very interesting history. It was a Blue Sky movie. When Disney bought Blue Sky, Nimona was 75% done, but Disney didn't like it and sold the movie. That's how it ended up. Maybe Godzilla producers didn't campaign for the Oscars. Yeah, we were talking about, you asked a little bit about that earlier, and there was a whole controversy last year, or was it the year before that, with that one lady from, the movie where she's homeless and she's cleaning up hotel rooms. Oh my gosh. There was a whole controversy. No, not Maid, which was wonderful. That's Andy McDowell's daughter. This is a young lady that was up for an Oscar for the movie. The comedian, he's also in the 80s Wrestling Women show, Glow. He played the lead actor in it. Leslie, come on, Amanda. What's it called? The movie.
Oh, I don't know.
Dang. Okay, that movie.
She's a maid.
No, not Maid. Gosh, dang it! What is it called? It came out last year, I think, and it was up for an Oscar. She was up for an Oscar, and there was a whole controversy about her, how she came up for an Oscar because of the campaigns that went on with it and how the Oscars were corrupt.
To Leslie.
That's it. To Leslie. Thank you. Yeah. So the young lady that went up, that got an Oscar nomination, that's where a lot of this thing kind of broke out. Like there was a whole conspiracy about how the Oscars are really corrupt. And I mean, I'm sure a lot of people know that already.
Yeah.
And that's why they're doing different things like this now. Yeah. Interesting animation categories, though. Not a lot of animation, sadly. Hand-drawn animation, that is, except for Boy and the Heron.
No, not this past year. I mean, if you think about what came out, definitely not that Ruby Kraken movie from DreamWorks. No offense. That thing was awful. When it finally dropped and I got to watch it on streaming, I was like, oh, this is rough.
Yes, Andrea Riseborough. That's it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's her.
Yes, Josh, we know Boss Baby's up for an Oscar. We don't. Hey, Omar's friend worked on it. We don't talk about it. It's fine. Good for
Wait,
them.
Boss Baby was up for an Oscar. Yeah, my friend actually worked on it. He was really proud of it. My
Yeah.
buddy Chris. And he's the one that wrote a lot of the web shorts for that series. That and Kung Fu Panda. That's what he's known
Did
for.
he do the Netflix series? Or was that the Netflix?
Yeah, I think he only did like 2 Netflix episodes, and then he did a lot of the web episodes. And now he's doing the Trolls movies, those things.
Oh, did he do Trolls Band Together? I finally watched that. Also came out this year.
Yeah,
Also
he actually got to write a couple of the scenes. The scenes with the car and the he was telling Melanie and I about it. He was like, "Yeah, when you watch the movie, I haven't seen a single Trolls movie, but I love my buddy." He was like, "Yeah," and the car, and they're like, they push the button, the fast button or some button. That's my scene, man. That's one of my scenes. That's the one I remember him telling me about. He was really proud of it.
In the third one or in the second one?
The third one, the last one that just came out.
Band Together, the one with NSYNC.
Sure.
Yep.
Okay. All right. What's your vote for? Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse?
Oh yeah, I gotta give it to Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. I mean, still they managed to. Yes, you had some issues with it, but the animation is still so strong.
Oh yeah, animation
yeah,
will set the bar for animation in the years to come, just like the first one did.
Yeah,
it's great. I have a feeling that it'll definitely win. All right, what else you got?
Yep. All right. Well, I don't have any other pictures. I only had time to get those. But other.
Okay. Yes, I know internet trolls. I know a lot of internet trolls. What's your friend's name? I'll ask my buddy Chris if they know him. He is now he's moved up to executive producer at DreamWorks. He's been oh my gosh, he's been there for like 10 years.
All right, let's think of some other things that I didn't mention. All right, so best international feature film, Mi Capitan, Society of the Snow, which is one I want to say from J.A. Bayona.
That was good. Have you seen it? I don't want to ruin it.
Can I stream it?
Yeah, it's on what is it on? It's on Netflix. It's on Netflix. So it is the story about the Uruguayan team that crash landed in the Andes. It's pretty much it's Alive, right? Like if you've seen the movie Alive, but actual actors that speak Spanish and not
it's awesome.
Like who was in Alive? Ethan Hawke. Ethan Hawke was in Alive, right?
Yeah.
Damn it. There is I've been wanting to talk to somebody about this because what they do in this movie is they do something really unique that I was like, oh shit. I did not see that coming. Even though it's based on a story that I've read about so many times. I've seen Alive a few times. They change something up and keep it historically accurate. But what they did, I thought, was a really interesting thing that I did not see coming, and I'm wondering what other people felt about it. Yes, it is the story where they eat people. You know that, right? Like it is the story of them eating people.
Yes.
Because they had to survive.
Yeah, they had to survive.
And a lot of them were like, "No, I'm not going to do that," and the consequences. And yeah, it's a powerful story, man. And this one, I got more emotional in this one than I did in the Alive movie. And I like Alive. It was a movie that was really well done. But this one, it's really powerful. Yeah, I liked it. James, you liked it? I may have to talk to you because I'm curious what you think.
I will watch it tonight, and I will let you know tomorrow.
That is 9:39. How about you give me the Killer of the Flower Moon, and I'll watch that tonight. I'll talk to you about it.
After the show, I'll get you you can log in. Zone of Interest was also nominated for best. That's why.
What? It's nominated for best movie and best foreign film?
Remember Parasite did the same
Parasite did the same thing. And it won best Oscar. Or best movie. That's crazy.
I don't think Zone of Interest will win for best picture this year, but if it's nominated for best international feature film, I bet it'll win for that, is my guess. Perfect Days and then The Teacher's Lounge. I haven't seen any of them. So I know Omar, I like to do, what was it? Best international short. Is that the one that we
I like doing best animated short. That's my favorite one to do because my kids and I always watch the animated shorts that are up.
Well, your birthday month falls in the realm of
That's well, we're gonna be watching like Spaceballs and Naked Gun there, Amanda.
Well, you do know, yeah. There's a lot of things I need to watch. Okay, we talked about original song, but we haven't given our predictions. So for original song, it's "I'm Just Ken."
Catchy.
What?
It's catchy. I like it.
It is catchy. I mean, yeah. It never went away from this documentary American Symphony on Netflix, so I gotta watch that.
Haven't seen that.
What Was I Made For from Barbie, the Billie Eilish song. The Song for My People from Killers of the Flower Moon, which I do not remember from the film,
Okay.
but I remember the acting. And then The Fire Inside from Flamin' Hot. Also don't know what that film is.
Flamin' Hot is isn't that the movie about the guy that created the flaming Cheetos?
I think so, but I don't know. I've never seen it.
Hold on a second. Is it called Flamin' Hot? Am I wrong?
It's Flamin' Hot. Yes. I did just see Dumb Money though. I watched that yesterday because it's streaming on Netflix.
Dumb Money. What's Dumb Money about?
It's about the GameStop shortstop.
Oh, these hedge funds or the hedge funds or the
the Robinhood. Yeah, where that guy.
So it is. What's up, Frank? How you doing? Finally got you live. Love the channel. Much love back to you, man. Eva Longoria produced it. So I just heard that some of it was made up or I got it confused a little bit with the movie that just came out recently. I was like, Flamin' Hot. That's the movie about the Mexican dude with the hot Cheetos. But did he go to space? No, that's a different movie with the guy from Ant-Man and the
Oh my gosh. Oh, I know what you're talking about. Is he an ISS?
I think so.
Is that what you're talking about? Because that film came out, and it didn't do that hot.
I kind of dug it. Yeah, it is. Okay, so I finished watching my Batman Omnibus collection. Only missing Dark Knight's Metal, Batman Eternal, Batman the Rise of Batman. Any of them worth it? Worth it? Rise of the Batman is excellent. Go with that one, Frank. Honest opinion. Saw the trailers and it looks like it took some liberties. That's what I heard. But I mean, whenever they make movies like this and you see based on, they can literally do whatever they want to with the movie as long as it's based on, right? Aspects of it can remain the same. Of course you got to make it a little Hollywood.
They have to drama. Because I remember when I was watching Dumb Money, I was Googling about it. And there was an article, 10 things they changed.
Oh, wait, it's a movie? It's not a documentary?
No, it's a movie.
I don't know if
Paul Dano's the main character. And then America Ferrera's also in it. But apparently the person, real life person she's supposed to play is like this Trump-loving like nurse, but she's definitely not that in the film.
And she's not like in the movie?
No, yeah, they changed
Cocaine. I'll say Cocaine Bear was one of the biggest disappointments for me. When did that come out? Last year?
No, it's this year. It came out this year.
Cocaine Bear was 2023.
Well, okay, whatever. This past year, yes. Okay, you know what I meant.
I did not like that movie.
2022 is what I meant.
Like, none of it made me laugh. Like, I was really disappointed because I was really wanting to watch it. Remember, we couldn't even say the C word on YouTube without getting demonetized? The Flaming Hot guy goes to space. I went to see Omar's version of the movie. I got both of my Latinos mixed up and both of the movies mixed up. No, it's a movie when you research him and his wife vanished from the face of the earth. Oh, interesting. You had high hopes. No way. I did. It looked so fun, man. It looked like so ridiculous that how can you mess that up? A bear that gets all drugged up and starts eating people?
I know.
Yes. That was
Elizabeth. All right, who do you think's gonna win for best original song?
I'm Just Ken. Seriously. I don't remember the Flaming Lips song. Not Flaming Lips.
I think that Billie Eilish is gonna win.
Whoa! Instead of I'm Just Ken.
I think what was I made for is the beautiful song. That's what at the end, the song that she does. They have played at the end when she's like.
I don't hear people spoofing that one.
That doesn't mean anything. It's the Oscars, first of all. Even like that's what it won at Critics. I'm Just Ken won the Critics' Choice Awards, and that's what spawned the Ryan Gosling meme. Like it's a TikTok thing where he's like looking around like, why did that win? Because even he's like, which I mean, yes, Mark Ronson, great guy, did Uptown Funk, good dude. If no one knew that, that's Mark Ronson and Bruno Mars, Uptown Funk, but yeah, I still think it should be Billie Eilish.
Got it. Okay. Billie Eilish for the win.
All right. Did you watch any of these documentaries? So, best documentary, To Kill a Tiger, Bobby Wine, the People's President, 20 Days in Maripol, Four Daughters, and The Eternal Memory.
I saw Four Daughters. Eternal Memory. What's the Eternal Memory about? Oh, I guess it doesn't say, right?
Nope, but I'll look it up. A documentary about a Chilean couple whose younger wife supports her husband who has Alzheimer's.
I saw that one. It's a beautiful one. Oh my God, Four Daughters. I've only seen 2 of those. I like documentaries, and I've only seen 2. I don't know what, man. There's the problem right now is that there's so many streaming services, and I don't know about anybody else or you. Max is a nightmare to navigate.
Oh, it is. I hate going to Max.
Like Max is like, you know, I would figure with Max, hey, here's the good, here's all the good stuff, right? Like here's Oscar nominated Succession, here's The Sopranos. No, it's like all these reality trash TV shows.
That's Discovery stuff.
I know, and then hidden under there is the what the hell? 0 documents that were nominated for this year's Oscars. Would you double dip for Justice League Volumes 1 and 2 Omni? Would I double dip? You mean if I have them already? What Justice League, the New 52, Frank? I love answering questions while because I can still think like that. I'm like, yeah, which one, Frank? Let me know. Eternal Memory and You Forgot. No, Phil. When Max and Purple colored, it was nice to navigate. Yeah. When it was, you know, I could even do HBO Max, but it was just when it became Max. Oh, it's awful.
Yeah.
It's awful.
Well, once Zaslav got a hold of it, he just ruined everything.
Yep. Yeah. I'm surprised they're not losing customers, but I think it's still tied to people that have AT&T.
It is. Maybe.
Then you get it for free.
Have it.
Used to be my favorite. Number 1. Dude, it used to be my favorite, and I'm like, and I can't keep up with streaming services. What was the other one you were telling me about? Not TMC, but
MGM, because I wanted to watch.
MGM as a streaming service? I didn't even know about that.
I want to watch on there, and the only way to do it was to get the MGM streaming service. What did I watch recently?
Something that you said I should watch.
You're right. What was it though?
I have an old AT&T account that had Max bundled up. It's the reason why I have it. I mean, that's why I have it, because my it's free, right? And I think a lot of us. Hulu's my favorite right now. Let me ask you this, James. Do you pay extra for Hulu? Like, do you pay for the extra no ads on Hulu? Because
we don't.
Holy crap, it's overkilled on Hulu. Like, just how many ads there are. It's crazy.
It is.
I don't know. I mean, YouTube is a nightmare too. But at least you can skip ads on YouTube. On Hulu, it's like you got to watch the whole thing. They have a nice AMC channel on Max for older movies I like. See, it's like navigating through there that I have to find it. HBO hasn't had a big show since they took over. Well, they've had Succession and freaking True Detective, and they're gonna get House of Dragons 2, season 2 coming out this year, right?
Yes, season 2 this year. Yeah, I mean, when Zaslav took over, they still had, the House of Dragon really hit pretty hard. I mean, yes, it's a Game of Thrones based series, but as Succession has been around, was 4 seasons, but.
Well, Last of Us, they'll have Last of Us season 2. I really think Last of Us will be 2 seasons. It'll be seasons 2 and 3. Scavenger's Reign is well worth digging on Max. I just, speaking of documentaries, I watched American Violence. Was that one? My brothers told me to watch it. It was okay. My brother's type of documentaries are a lot different than mine. I enjoyed getting as much information as possible in a condensed amount of time. They like docuseries, which is very popular because that's what streaming services want you to do. They want you to sit there and ask the question, are you still watching it? Yes. And I'm not a fan of those because they pad the story out so much that I'm like, so I'm a bigger fan of like the Max or HBO documentaries that were when Vice was with HBO.
Docuseries are good for me when I need something that's not too entertaining to like listen to or watch while I'm doing work. That's why those 90s docuseries, I've seen so many like 90s docuseries. It's
Uh,
insane. I don't know if I'm just nostalgic for my time of when I was a child,
well,
but
that's a
it
little
is,
different though, right? Like the
yeah,
90s documentaries are talking about the times
with like
and
one specific era.
yeah,
They
not
like
one
music.
crime that was committed, and
Oh,
people
no.
like every episode is like, but wait, there's more. Crazy.
It's true.
Tubi is the poor man's streaming service. That is true. And I'm watching an MC and Jess more than streaming. Well, thank you for that, buddy. I think documentaries and I think of Dear Zachary. And then I
Oh,
lose 8 hours as I sit in the dark corner beside. Oh,
yeah.
yeah. Dear Zachary is the one that I always recommend. Something's wrong with Aunt. Oh, I can't remember what her name is. It's on HBO Max. It's a powerful documentary. It's rough. If you don't like, that's the thing with documentaries. Like you kind of have to know what to expect, right? Because most of the documentaries that I like watching, unfortunately, don't have a happy ending. But it is about, learning from people's mistakes of what could have been prevented. I'm trying to think of like Imposter. That was a really good one. Have you seen that one? It's about the kid. It's a kid in the early, I think it was in the 90s or aughts that goes missing. Family's trying to find him. About a few months later, another kid comes back claiming it's him. They get a call from like Spain, like, Mom, it's me. He comes back, and the neighbors are like, the family takes him in, like, oh my God, our son's back. And the family takes him in, right? But the neighbors and the doctors are like, that's not your kid. And on top of that, he has an accent. So it's this whole mystery as to who's this kid. The ending of that is really good. The ending is really, really good. I mean, Vice did a lot of good documentaries too.
Yeah, they did.
On HBO, and what was it? They did a whole wrestling series. But honestly, yeah, docuseries aren't for me. I watched that one, Josh, the Don't F with Cats. I think that was 3. That was 3, but you can't watch, like, you got to be able to stomach animals getting hurt, right? Not that they show it. That is something that they have changed in documentaries.
Paradise Lost is the one that I really like. About this.
Paradise Lost was amazing.
Yes.
Not in a good way, but because it's about the death of, it's about the what were they called? The Nashville Memphis 3, the Memphis 3,
yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
The Memphis 3, it's insane to take a step back and think about. That documentary series started when I was in high school. The second Paradise Lost was when I was married and I was living somewhere else. The third one and the final one came out when I was in my 30s. Those kids were in prison for that long, and it took people like Peter Jackson
to actually,
the Dixie Chicks to get involved. Oh my gosh.
Right? What do you think that, it's wild.
Yeah. That's a really good one. HBO has had some good ones. Yeah, Imposter was amazing, dude. Dark Side of the Ring. That's it. I heard Monarch was good. I need to watch that, brother. I need to watch that. Last Dance. You just need
to get Apple TV first.
Yeah, I need to get Apple TV. Last Dance. What's Last Dance, Josh?
That's the Michael Jordan one, isn't it?
Last Dance?
I thought it was. Am I not right?
Oh, I don't know. That's what I was asking. Are you guys going to watch Masters of the Air? Oh my God, I can't. Okay, now I got to get Apple Plus for that. Yes, because I love Band of Brothers. The Pacific was good. Not as good as Band of Brothers. But this is something they've been working on for 10 years. Oh, I can't wait. I have a PS5. Wait, you can get 6 months free of Apple TV.
Oh, there you go. You got PS5.
How do I do that, Frank? Hit me up.
I think you have to go on like that store and just like ask for it.
What was the one? Oh, dude, there was one. The documentary my brother and I talk about, because I usually recommend him the weird documentaries. I'm like, if you want to be disturbed, you want to know how crazy people are out, he knows I like those documentaries.
Mm-hmm.
It's the one about the guy. This is messed up. It's the neighbor that moved into this, like right across from this couple that had a kid. And his whole goal was to become like a predator to this child. So he sleeps with the mom.
That's right.
And then he starts having an affair with the father. And his goal is to get with the daughter. And I was like, dude, what the hell and you say that a lot, right? Like, what the hell is wrong with these people? Like, what? Your role is to protect your child. Like, yeah. Oh my god, yeah. That was a
Yeah.
really messed up documentary. Mommy Dearest, Dead and Dearest, you saw that one, right? That
Yes,
was a
I
little
did.
messed up.
Yes.
Oh, I got PS5. Time to get that free trial after my current one dies. The Last Dance. Oh, it is Chicago Bulls last
Yes.
season. The
Yeah. I
rise
was
of the
playing.
winning streak. Most MJ, but everyone else on the team. BS. PS. I don't like basketball. And you
Oh,
still
you
like
should
that.
watch
Okay.
Air, though. Air is fun.
You have to download the app on the PS5 and do it through that. Dude, thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I'll be doing that
Now you
tonight.
can watch it. You have to watch Drinking then, because that's a great film,
Okay,
TV
well,
show.
one at a time. I gotta get to Scorsese's movie first.
Yeah,
Have you seen Tell Me
yeah,
Who I Am? About oh yes, one of the twins has amnesia. Yes. There's a really, really sad documentary. It's on HBO. What was it called? It's the story of 5 people that have terminal illness, and it's their choice to.
Oh, to get off life support?
Well, they're not even on life support to just be put
Down.
down. Yeah, man, that's a really rough documentary. It's good because it's like it's one of those documentaries that make you think like, okay, this is the way they're choosing to go out. Because one of the ladies had like stage 4 cancer, and she
Yeah.
was like so happy and stuff with her family eating, and she was like, I just don't want them to see me suffer because I know where this is gonna go.
Yeah.
The pink, the pink agenda, that was another good one about the pink ribbon, like the
Yeah.
cancer. That was a really good documentary. That opened my eyes to like, I don't do the whole pink ribbon
Yeah.
yogurt stuff or whatever it is. Now we just donate money straight to the
Yeah.
to them because oh my gosh, I didn't know how corrupt it was. Miss you all tonight, most of it at least. Much
Oh,
love to you. Oh, much love back to you, man. It sounds like a
yeah.
weird Family Guy joke. Sleep with the whole oh, I'm not kidding. That really happened. After Party season 2 sucked. I hope I saved you some time.
You know, you're right. I watched it crazy English. It was not as good. The first season was great.
What's After Party?
I don't know if you would like it or not, but so Tiffany Haddish is a detective and she ends up on the scene of a murder of this really rich, famous guy played by Dave Franco. And all of his friends are there. It's at during a party. And now she's kind of trapped like the main people, and they're all trying to figure out who killed him. And the main character, besides herself, is Sam Richardson. You know him from he played the Nigerian president. Was he the president in Ted Lasso? He always made those cameos where he's trying to get.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, well, I mean, I love that actor. He was in Veep too. If anyone watched Veep, he always like was Jonas, like right hand man, and he was so hilarious. He was kind of just, little didn't know what he's doing all the time. But it's like his story, but it's also like the guy was a friend. Like they were all in high school together. It was like a reunion, and each person has their own chance to tell their story, and it's told so differently. Like Ben Schwartz, he tells like his in a musical kind of thing, and someone else tells it like as a noir kind of situation. It was really cool. And of course, Tiffany Haddish's character is supposed to find out who did it, and that's the whole thing. She pieced it all together. So season 2 is one of them is getting married, or someone's getting married, and it's a lot of the same cast, or the main cast of characters. The 2 people end up hooking up at the end. And oh well, I'm gonna spoil it, but anyways, it was okay. It was not as good as the first season. It's hard to replicate that same momentum of something like that 2 seasons in a row.
Omar, please watch documentary with some happy puppies and glitter.
You should.
But Melanie always asks me why I watch those things, and I don't know. I've always had this fascination with the way that like people like our brains tick and what makes us so different, and like why that's why I read a lot of creepy stuff too. What would make somebody go over that line, and how and I think honestly, like the older I get, the more I try to like keep see early signs of those kind of things happening. I think anybody can tell you, right? Like you see anybody hurting an animal, they're more than likely able to hurt a person. I'm not talking about people that are going out hunting for deer and stuff like that.
He's talking about Macaulay Culkin's kid in The Good Son.
Wow, that was not that was something I wasn't expecting. Yeah, sure, Macaulay Culkin.
Yeah, well, that kid clearly was saying
Hey,
that.
wow. I was thinking of what Josh was saying about the guy that don't F with cats. And sure enough, what happened with
He
that guy?
did. He shot a cat with a BB gun. Remember? And never.
Oh my God, are we still talking about the good son?
Anyways, yes, but it is
Yes,
kind of cool.
he was evil. He was evil. All right. Let's wrap it up. Let's wrap up the Oscar party tonight. Let's
Yes, I know.
look at
Our Oscar party with Kaori. I didn't get any gifts for tonight.
There we go. That's something happy. Spent one terrible summer writing crime articles for local newspapers. Sometimes just got to accept that evil is a real thing. Oh yeah. That's why, that's why I don't mind when people, oh, sorry, I left that up there way too long. That's why I don't mind when people are like, oh man, can you recommend me something happy? I can't do creepy, or I can't do sad. Of course. That's why I kind of read it all. Let me get to this question and then we can wrap up. I own no Marvel omnibus, just DC ones, but I want to get a Marvel one. And since I'm from New York City and Spider-Man's the comics I grew up in my area, debating on Ultimate Spider-Man Omnibus Volume 1 and 2, and also feeling Venom by Donny Cates and Uncanny X-Force. Yeah, Ultimate Spider-Man Volumes 1 and 2 are huge, man. People love those. My era is a little bit different. I like Roger Stern's Spider-Man, David Michelini and Todd McFarlane's, but there is a huge following, and the Ultimate Spider-Man brought in so many people. And the new Ultimate Spider-Man comic is phenomenal. Hey, Omar, when is the next Epic announcements? Oh, Phil, you've been here the whole time, and now you just asked me. What a gentleman. I'm hoping to do it February. What is today? February 8th. I'm hoping to do it February 8th. I'll try to see if I can get the files from Marvel. Murder at the End of the World was one of the best plot twists. Oh, yes, that was a good one. All right, Panda, sign us off.
Awesome. All right, so we will be back next week, probably doing a review of the first 3 episodes of True Detective, season 4. So,
well, you want to do that? I thought we were doing something else. I thought you wanted to do Avatar.
That
you have a schedule for me? As long as you have a schedule for me, I'll get on it. I'll get on it.
So just so you know, we are working on our February schedule, and there's a lot of stuff coming out in February. Madam Web's coming out. I know Omar's super excited about that.
I forgot about that movie.
2024. Also, the Avatar: The Last Airbender series is coming out at the end of February 22nd. And so, in honor of that, we know we said we were going to do it during my birthday month, but of course, there's too much to review and stuff in December. So we will be doing a Was It Really That Bad this coming month of The Last Airbender by M. Night Shyamalan. So just to get us ready, to remind us that Netflix better not F this up. So we will, let you guys know with the more detailed schedule next week. But next week will be Last True Detective episodes 1 through 3 for season 4. So get your True Detective hats on and figure out where the connections lie and who the killer might be. So thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Remember to follow us on all of our social media channels at nearmintcon. Remember to check us out on Spreadshop for some great near mint condition merchandise, and also check us out on Patreon for $1 a month or more. You can support us here in what we do and get some really cool perks along the way. And last but not least, if it's classy and cool, it must be near mint. Good journey till all are one, and we will see you all next week for more Reelz talk.
Bye, everybody.